You embarrass me. I'm disgusted by you. My daughter-in-law hissed at my grandson's graduation dinner. I just smiled. I'd been waiting for this moment. At 67, I thought I'd seen every shade of human cruelty. I'd buried a husband, raised 3 kids. I thought I was unshockable. But that night, as I watched my daughter-in-law try to tear my family apart, I realized I was about to expose a secret so vile, it would make her entire world crumble. The Riverside Country Club dining room hummed with that unique buzz of a graduation dinner. You know the kind. Soft clinking of glasses, murmurs of congratulations. My grandson, Elliot, sat at the head of our table, beaming. Cap and gown swapped for a sharp navy suit. He looked like he'd just conquered the world. Harvard Law School. Full scholarship. The pride swelling in my chest felt almost too big to contain. Grandma Thelma, Elliot leaned over, his eyes bright. Did you see Professor Morrison's face when I gave my speech? I think I actually made him tear up. I reached out and squeezed his hand, feeling the calluses he'd earned from working construction summers to help pay his way. You've always had a gift with words, sweetheart. Your grandfather would have been so proud. That's when the temperature in the room seemed to drop. Oh, please. The voice cut through our moment like a blade through silk. Esme, my daughter-in-law. She sat rigid in her chair, that particular smile plastered on her face, the one she reserved for moments when she planned to draw blood. Her perfectly manicured fingers gripped her wine glass so tightly I worried it might shatter. Esme, my son David warned quietly, but she was already past the point of restraint. She stood slowly, deliberately, her designer dress catching the chandelier light as she turned to face me. Conversations at nearby tables began to fade as people sensed the shift in our little corner of the room. You want to know what I really think about this whole charade? Her voice carried, just enough to reach familiar faces from our social circle who turned with barely concealed curiosity. This woman, she pointed directly at me, has been playing the devoted grandmother act for years, but the truth is, she's nothing but an embarrassment. My stomach dropped, but I kept my face carefully neutral. I'd learned long ago not to give Esme the satisfaction of seeing me flinch. Mom, stop. David's voice held a note of desperation I'd heard too many times before. But Esme was just getting started. She took a step closer to my chair, her voice rising with each word. You want to know what your precious grandmother really is, Elliot? She's a fraud. A pathetic old woman who can't even dress appropriately for her own grandson's graduation dinner. I glanced down at my navy dress. Conservative, well-tailored, perfectly appropriate. But I knew this wasn't about my clothes. You embarrass me, Esme continued, her voice now carrying to half the dining room. Every single time we're in public together, I have to pretend that you're not a complete social disaster. You say the wrong things. You dress like you shop at thrift stores. And you have no idea how to conduct yourself around people who matter. The silence that followed was deafening. I could feel the weight of dozens of eyes on our table. I could practically hear the whispered conversations that would dominate the country club for weeks to come. Elliot's face had gone pale. Esme, that's enough. David pleaded. No, it's not enough. She turned back to me, and for a moment I saw something in her eyes that went beyond mere dislike. It was pure, simple contempt. I have carried the embarrassment of being associated with you for 15 years. 15 years of making excuses, of trying to minimize the damage you caused just by existing in our lives. She leaned. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.